Good morning. This is Dr. K. Last night I was upset. I was angry. I was perturbed. I was put aside. But as an older person, I learned to not speak in anger. So as I got up this morning and took my morning run, I realized that I was still angry. I was still upset. I was still put off a great deal. Are you angry? Are you put off? Are you disturbed? Martin Luther King said an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. Are you angry? You should be, because you walked by Trayvon Martin yesterday. You looked at him with his saggy pants and his hat turned on backwards and you said, "My God, look at him." You should be angry. God said he would never change the condition of a people until they first change themselves. You should be angry because you have failed in your responsibility. You go to your houses of worship and worship God, but you walk by the bum, the beggar, the indigent, the poor every day. You ride by in your fine raiment and your high interest loans, and you look at them and say, it's a shame that they are the way they are. You see, we war not against flesh and blood, but principles and principalities. What are your principles? You like to blame the system? You are the system. You are part of the system that's not working for yourselves. I hear you teachers. I hear you pastors. I hear you so-called grown folk talking about our babies. You are just as much to blame. You buy the CDs. You listen to the CDs where that stuff is glorified. The hats turned on backwards, the grills, the sex. You are just as much to blame. You should be angry. You should be upset, as am I, because we have failed in our responsibility to our children. Why is it that a man like me and our boys on the street have never been told by another man that I love you? Why do I have to wait until I'm 40 years old to hear that? Why do you walk by those children every day on the street? How can you love God whom you've never seen and hate your brother whom you see every day? What is your responsibility in this? You love to criticize? Criticize yourself. You love to be angry? Be angry at yourself. Some of the naysayers came to Christ and they asked him, "Who is my neighbor?" Did he say John next door? Did he say Jane across the street? He gave a parable of the Good Samaritan. And then he asked, who did the neighborly thing? You see, there was a Levite who came and saw a man in the road. He was dressed in his fine raiment. He looked at him, but he was busy trying to get his white picket fences and his cars and his job, because those things were so important to him. But he walked by on the other side. Then there came to him somebody else, and they looked at him and they said, "That's a shame. I can identify with you, Trayvon." Shame, shame. You were empathetic, but you walked by on the other side. But then came the Good Samaritan. He picked him up and bandaged up his head and poured oil in his wounds. Took him to the innkeeper and gave him 10 pence and said, "This is not enough. I'll pay you upon my return." And Christ asks, who did the neighborly thing? I ask you today, are you angry? Are you upset? Are you put off? You should be. We war not against flesh and blood, but principles and principalities. Men, take up your mantle. Be good fathers. Be good husbands. Be good uncles. And be good stewards to those boys you see walking by, you walk by every day. This is Dr. K. I hope you had your steel toes on, because I'm coming for you. Peace be upon you.